Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
In the D, what's up, Detroit? Welcome into Big D Energy.
Big D!
We need some Big D energy.
D-Mac's back, baby. Look out.
That's right. That's right. Lions fans are freaking out. Tigers fans are pretty happy, but we need to flip the energy.
I need
today.
more energy out of you, Anson. It's a friggin' Wednesday.
Right,
game,
come on,
week
Max.
2
Tell
and
him,
stuff
Max.
like this. I come back like everybody's dogs died and
Right.
like
Whose dog died?
well, I don't know.
Collective
It's like
Lions
everybody's
fans,
acting.
dog.
It's like, oh, the sky's falling and the end of the world. Come on.
It really
This
is.
week, you know what? Now we're gonna really find out what these guys are made of, right? If all this grit and whatever, it's time to grit it out, and we can say that game was probably was the worst. That game was worse than the Washington game. That's the worst game I've seen this regime in the Lions uniform. It reminded me of the 1-6 start, where there was just lack of communication, lack of adhesion, lack of discipline, all that stuff that isn't what Detroit Lions football is. So reset, and let's go. I still believe we have some of the top players at their position in this game. It's just time for them to go out and prove it. So I just wish everybody, come on. It's Wednesday.
Woosah.
It's hump day, right? Let's just reset here. Got a big game, against Chicago, and thank goodness Caleb Williams is coming into town, and we can take out all our anger on Ben Johnson. Let's go.
On the Catfish. After we beat Catfish Caleb and Osama Ben Johnson this weekend, for the third straight year, Spenny, the Lions will be 1-1. And I think that a lot of fans forget that the last two seasons, this team was 1-1. After they beat the Bears this weekend, there's nothing to worry about. Am I wrong? Are you worried if they
There's always
win this
something
weekend?
to be worried about how it plays out, right? But if they win, it puts everything back.
Yeah.
1-1, just like they were before. Hey, guys, hello. We had this preseason conversation, and most people said 11 or 12 wins because of this schedule. So it's not going to get easier. You got to take care even more. It's imperative to take care of your home games, and especially in your division. So,
But can it get worse, D-Mac? Can it get worse
of
than
course
what we
it can
saw
get
on
worse.
Sunday?
Yeah, it can be the same. The same is worse.
That would be.
The ineptitude on all fronts. The thing that really bothered me the most was the lack of discipline early in the game by some of your guys that are supposed to be your leaders. So that doesn't get out, and give Matt LaFleur and Green Bay had that game on their schedule ever since he got into an argument with our buddy, that got kicked out, right? He's worried about fans. They were so hyper-focused on, and it showed.
Oh, no doubt.
They outplayed us. They were ready to play. We weren't. But in saying that, I have to go back and give the Detroit Lions, this Lions regime with the players, from what I'm hearing, when their backs are against the wall, this is when they perform the best. Well, this is their backs against the wall. And I don't think, Spenny, KG, help me out here. Do you think this is the last time this season that we will be feeling this way?
Certainly not.
Not with this schedule.
No.
Not with where you have to play on the road and who you have to play. So, right, that 11 and 12 win season, just it's right there. And I don't care if you had them losing or you had them winning to the Packers or not. You brought up a great point. Let's just get to 1-1, and then we'll regroup for the next week. So I don't see it as bad. After this week, right, if you want to wait and have those things, if they do not play well, if they lose this game, then questions have to be asked, because then it's becoming a trend.
So when you guys were dominating the NHL and you knew the quality of players that you had, you knew how to take care of business on the ice, when you had a stretch of bad games, and I'm going to say a stretch because obviously there's a lot less games in the NFL. It's 1 week, but we hyper-focus our attention on it all week long. 0-1. What did you guys do? What did the coach say to you? Where were you guys at in those situations where you knew you were underperforming, but you knew you had the team that you could right that ship?
If you know you have the team and you know you have the talent, then it's execution. And obviously the guys on the other side are either more prepared, harder working, doing whatever. So you have to look within. And that's what the leadership does, and that's what the veterans do. Did anybody have a problem with any of the rookies you saw out there the other day with their effort?
Not Tesla.
It was
for sure.
Right. Well, he gets the touchdown and makes the most of his opportunity. Maybe that opens up more. So what I'm saying, our adage, Anson, was don't lose 2 in a row, right? And at the end of the day, you win 75% of your games on home ice, and you go 500 on the road. Now, we go different. You can even break it down more in hockey, 5-game segments, right, of how many points you want to get in those segments and stuff. In the NFL, wins are at a premium, so it's imperative not to lose. Good teams don't lose 2 games in a row. Have we not seen over the past from the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, have games like we saw? Have we not seen
every year
the Eagles, who eventually pulled it off? So there are those. Neil sits there and says, you're going to have 2 games on your schedule that are those. You don't want it to be the first game. You don't expect it to be the first game. But I have faith that was the worst game that they will play this year.
Yeah, and during Brady's run, how many years after he lost in Week 8, Brady's cooked. Brady's over. It's the end of the Patriots dynasty, and then they'd come back. Same thing with Mahomes. There's at least 2 championships I can think of where Week 10, he's done. Kansas City's over. So the same thing here with Detroit. Again, the last 2 years, we have complained about this team coming out rusty. And whether it's because they don't play their guys in the preseason, whatever it is, they escaped a couple of games early in the last 2 seasons where they could have certainly started off 0-2.
I just realized that this is the greatest blessing. Because having all the last, and I know the last 2, maybe the last 3 Super Bowl champions, have they not been absolutely written off?
Yes.
Yeah.
At some point during the season?
Absolutely.
Spenny, right? They've been written off. So if this is the Detroit Lions getting written off, maybe it's a good omen.
I love the spin on it, but they got embarrassed.
So here's the flashing light, right? I do believe that whatever, because it's proven in the past that the pressure on defense will improve. Mm-hmm. But can they buy time offensively? Right. Offensive line. That's why I was more excited to get in here to look at my offensive linemen in the booth and see, right? Because that's the glaring.
Yeah.
What was the glaring thing? Have we had trouble running on Green Bay in the past with Sonic and Knuckles, with our 2 guys?
No,
right?
You haven't.
We haven't, right? So to me, that's the biggest thing they got to clean up is protection. And we know they got to give Goff time. And because they have to give him more time, because that offense they were running, I don't know what offense that was.
That looked like the offense.
It was slow. It was methodical. It was predictable.
Yeah.
The predictability, right? That's not when you think Detroit Lions offense, predictability.
Right.
But that was just predictable. There was no, and I'm not saying you need a 4th down Jack Fox play or anything, but there was no panache to try to turn the game.
Yeah.
There was
no big plays.
There was no urgency.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was no urgency. And when have you ever seen, that second drive when the ball turned out, the 2-play touchdown by the Packers, was that not the Detroit Lions last year,
Absolutely,
the year before? Shove it up your rear ends real quick.
Right.
And so that's what scares me.
Yeah, and why I'm not too worried about it, and I know they're going to get better. Obviously, they're very young, but when you look at the tape and when you look at a lot of the things that went wrong, it was a lot of miscommunication and a lot of 2 guys blocking one with nobody blocking the other guy and different things like that.
Yep.
So just rookie and young player stuff. And Dan Campbell even said it himself. He said, a lot of it was that the kills and the audibles weren't communicated on the offensive line, and not everybody knew what play they were running. So that's something that I know Hank Fraley is going to be in those guys' ass about all week.
Yeah.
And so I expect a huge step forward from this offensive line going up against the Bears.
And the Lions fan base has been up the ass of the OC and the DC after our performance first week. We'll come back to the conversation about the new coordinators here. But the Tigers played last night, and the Tigers whooped that Yankee ass last night.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Feeling a little better about Paddock as long as he pitches with the lead, Spenny?
Yeah, I mean, sure, we'll see, but Tigers got more shit they got to worry about than on the field because I don't know if you guys
big article came out today. I don't know if you guys know in the chat. Please smash that like button. We do have a Darren McCarty autograph card today, which, Spenny, I don't want to give this out on the wheel today. Who you want to give this to?
All right. We can give it to one of the super chats. We'll think the best super chat of the day.
I like that.
We'll all decide, and then we can give it to them.
And it is the baddest card that I've ever been able to find of DMAC, just cross-checking the hell out of somebody. But, the Tigers, an article came out today. Sounds like 4 high-end execs have been let go. System of abuse. I'll be honest with you, Spenny, I don't want to go too far into it until a little more information comes out.
Yeah, the story was broken by The Athletic, and now it's everywhere. Everybody's covering it, all reputable sports media, that there has been a system of abuse and misconduct towards the women in the front office of the Detroit Tigers. And a lot of shit's going on over there, and there are going to be some heads rolling, but
is this going to affect their gameplay?
I think it'd be hard not to.
Yeah.
Just from outside noise, a young team. This is I don't know if this derails them or anything, but it's definitely this is things that are going to get brought up in different media sessions, and when your front office is out there behaving like idiots and just nasty environment for people to be in, then you hate to see that. But hopefully the team can move past it and focus on baseball. But it's just.
Yeah, really poor timing for a team about to take the plunge into the playoffs. But you talk about wild situations. There was another wild situation in Rome where our very own Pistons were.
Yeah.
And a free agent was.
Yeah, we saw in Rome that Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren were out there partying with Malik Beasley.
Yes,
who
sir.
has been officially cleared of all investigations. I don't know if he paid back his rent that he was owed in Detroit, that he was due in Detroit.
$24,000, right?
Paid a lot of that, yeah. So he's in the free and clear, and he's ready to sign
Hopefully
with the team.
paid that barber.
He's partying with the Pistons in Rome.
I'm looking at this picture on Twitter of them and some videos and stuff, and he's got a girl bent over. Is he the new wild boy of the NBA, Spenny?
I mean, he's definitely.
God. Come on, is he KG? I mean, ever since he's gone full AB. Ever since the news came out,
Full AB.
He has been. You've been seeing some wild tweets out of him.
I mean, yeah, but I can't blame him because people condemn you automatically. They see the headline, don't really know the situation and what's actually going on. Although on the outset it did look pretty bad for him. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he beat this case, and now that he is available to be signed, I would like the Pistons to explore that again. I think that adding him to your bench would be great, albeit it's probably on a lesser contract because you kind of
discount.
Yeah, so
discount.
If he's willing to take a discount, come on home, man.
Blue light special, man. I'm all about that. D-Mac, did you ever have any buddies on the team, and obviously don't name names, but did you have anybody that just absolutely loved to gamble?
Right here. Dude, I've burned through every casino, betting, whatever like this. Like, if you want to find me, you can find me on a slot machine, or maybe I play poker still.
You was like AI at
still
Greek
play
time,
poker.
huh?
That's like I got some great poker stories from back in the day. But I very well versed that one of those casinos in Vegas was built on my dime. So
nice.
But we got some good stories.
The D-Mac Casino in
Right.
Vegas.
I like
That's
it.
the D. Yeah, the D in Las Vegas is for Darren.
Shout out to the D. They let me bring my dog Clyde in there.
Shout out.
Yeah, but
Shout out to Derek Stevens and my boy Darren Banks.
Oh, you know the guys over there, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Well, let's give a
they built it in my honor because I gave them the money.
shout out to the D. Let's give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Benny.
Yeah, tell us about Ven Johnson.
Ven Johnson. Hey, man, 3 letters. VEN, they mean justice, and justice, well, it means different things to different people, but whether it's a settlement or verdict, justice, it's always worth that fight. If you got a case, contact the fighters at Ven Johnson Law today. Get that justice you deserve. They're tough, they're tenacious, they're trial lawyers. They are Ven Johnson Law.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with the top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Welcome back to BDE. Let's get right into it. Your Detroit Lions 0-1, playing this Sunday at home, Ford Field, hosting the Chicago Bears and Catfish Caleb. Everybody here in town, everybody nationally, well, there's that 4-letter word that we use with the Detroit Lions quite a bit, and it is grit. And here in Detroit, and again nationally, everyone says that we were out-gritted by the Packers.
I believe you said it on the post game. Gritless.
Gritless. We did lead that off with it. They did. They looked gritless.
They did.
I believe that they will find that grit. I believe that grit hasn't gone anywhere. I believe that it was rust instead of grit that we saw last week. But one Dan Campbell, well, you know he's not happy with that performance. You know he's embarrassed by the way that the team looked. And you know that he has got a lot to say right now. I kind of touched on it, asking you about your Red Wing days, D-Mac, and what Scotty would do to fire you guys up, what you guys would do on your own to find that resolve to correct and right the ship. What do you think Dan Campbell has to say to this team right now?
No, I mean, it's like self-awareness that everybody's got to be better. I mean, wasn't it the lowest graded Penny Sewell game in the history of his playing or something like that?
Yeah, after the heavies held him up all summer, too.
No.
Do you
What
not
I'm
think
saying,
Penny
I
Sewell's
wasn't
good?
going
Do you not think Penny Sewell's good?
Oh, I think he's the best. I think he's the best.
Penny Sewell having a bat, right? He's even allowed. Showed you that he was human, but that's the last thing. Like, it's all of the guys. All the grades were down.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Across the board.
So what I'm saying, so all you got to walk in and go, it wasn't good enough. But these guys are pros and they're veterans and they've been together and the core of this team knows that. So from what we've seen before, I believe when they tell me, right, the Hutches and the Amon-Ra St. Browns and that we're going to go to work and we're going to figure Jared Goff, they're going to say, right? Now, obviously it's sports and it's a different year. So there's a little bit of skepticism in you that you want to see it because it just, right? But they get the benefit of the doubt. So I expect a lot more grit. And plus, right? Now, am I right or wrong? Ben Johnson's departure wasn't full of flowers or the It wasn't the Aaron Glenn send-off.
No,
like Aaron Glenn
not
got
even
sent off
close.
with hugs and kisses and stuff like this. Ben Johnson sort of was the child that decided to leave, and maybe it was under a little bit of a strain.
Yeah,
is that safe? Is it safe to say that's how?
Yeah, and then moved in with your neighbor too.
No, gives a shit about that. Gives a shit about moves in with the neighbor, does whatever else. He's coming back.
That's right.
So you know what? You don't need no more motivation than that. What do you think? There, it started right with Amon-Ra St. Brown's comment. Is like the minute you see him, he better be booed, right? Because that's what we do here, and if that doesn't give you the motivation, right? Especially after last week. So that's what I think Dan Campbell, he's going to feed on because the talent's there, right?
Yeah.
Now Hank Fraley, Hank Fraley's got to just be pulling his hair out because that is not a Hank Fraley offensive line.
Not at all.
At least the way that they work. So I believe that they're working right now. They're spending extra time. They're doing whatever they need to do, dig in, right? And I think that in some sick way, they embrace that. Just like we embraced the fact of, and remember, and Neil's the one person that always says is, hey, remember, I never thought you could win, right? Everybody else is, oh, we knew you could do it. No, for 90% because the Red Wings back in the day climbing the hill and falling short, right?
Yeah.
Be honest with yourselves. When we did it, it was like, holy shit.
Finally.
I never thought they would, if you're going to be honest.
Yeah.
But we didn't believe that because we were the only way out is through. And we believed in each other. So I know it's second game of the season, but that's the mentality they have to have, that, you know, and go back and draw on your ineptitude in the conference finals.
Right.
The game that you blew in the 49ers, you're still around. Use that as motivation to not have it happen again.
And it's because you took pride in what the hell you were doing and what the organization was. And that's what these players do with this Lions organization. Like, they're more prideful than anybody. That's why I put more on the players than the coordinators. It's going to take time before we can actually determine how good the quality of the coordinators are. And a lot of those things were fixable on the field. So I'm looking at the players. Y'all got a gut check. Y'all got to figure that shit out. Jared Goff said it. Hey, there needs to be a mad sense of urgency in this next game to come in here and get better, because they all know that wasn't Lions football. We all know it wasn't Lions football. But like you said, they deserve the benefit of the doubt because of the cachet they have created over this period of time. We know that they are better than what the fuck they put out Sunday.
Well, and they are better than what they put out Sunday. I want to ask you guys in the chat, how far apart were these teams on Sunday? Because I look back at the box score. We dominated time of possession by over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're losing.
We had
That's great.
We
That's
had more.
That's
field
awesome.
goals.
No,
Kicking field goals.
and I get that, but we had more first downs. We only allowed 250 yards of offense. Now, you go back to that pick six by Brian Branch. Really questionable blocking call on Hutch. All of a sudden, that game's 20-13 if that play goes through. And mind you, 2 plays beforehand, Anzo was this far away from having a pick six himself.
Yep.
This team rallies around big plays, big moments, and I think that if that play happens and it gets called a touchdown, and you're looking at a 20-13 game, and all the Lions need is a stop from a defense that was playing tremendous in the second half, not so much in the first half, but I think that game could have had a far different outcome where we wouldn't be panicking. We might even be looking at a W right now. So I guess looking at that, wondering how far the team is away from the team that they want to be, putting that together with the motivational question, can the Lions overcome the motivation of what Ben Johnson is bringing to town? Because on the other side of your coin, talking about how motivated Dan is to win this game, Ben is bringing that same energy. I just don't think that the Lions were actually as bad as people would like to make them out to be. I don't think that the Bears can play with them, especially at home, especially with one loss under their belt, because as you mentioned, this team loves revenge.
Well, I mean, I don't really think it's relevant with Ben Johnson, and obviously his team's going to want to win for him. But you got to come in and play the Detroit Lions and the fans, everybody, and this team. You know, and you know what? This team has to do a better job embracing those moments, because you look at some of the big games they've lost at home. right? Not just the playoff game last year, the Thanksgiving days and stuff like this. Everything's a lesson if you use it as that and you don't make that same mistake twice. So it's more focused. As you were saying that, Anson, which you are, correct in the observation, I think the eyeball test just, like, if they didn't lose and they didn't feel like they were embarrassed, would that have been worse?
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? In the long run? So I just think that everything goes ultra super focus of everybody because now of what you said, and the biggest factor is they're 0-1. And then they got Ben Johnson coming in. So I Caleb Williams, and I know that first 15 plays or the beginning of the game or whatever like that, and everybody was losing their mind that Ben Johnson recovered somebody else until the fairy dust came off and he resorted back to what he usually is. So we got to take advantage of that. And we got to take advantage of that. The Bears are going to play hard. They always do, and they always play us hard. We just got to be cleaner, better communication, right? And more. And I think it's more focused. I like what you said earlier. I don't think it was lack of grit. I think it was rust.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll find out because there's a whole bunch. There was cheesy grits last year. We can't have these. We can't have Chicago grits.
We got a couple super chats in there that we got to clean up. One from Eric Hatfield. He says, "Happy International Makeup Day to Caleb Williams.
Solid.
Hutch and the boys are going to get home at least twice. #OnePride.
Front runner.
Yeah, that is front runner. Happy Makeup Day to Caleb Williams. He'll probably get half off his nail polish.
All right.
Nobody in the Woodward Sports chat says, Mr. McCarty, I played as you on the N64 NHL 99 and scored a goal. So there we go.
Yeah, buddy.
Shout
out to the video games. They always did me proper, other than my first year.
And hockey video games are always elite. Like, I had NHL 99 for the 64. Great game. All the new Chell games are so much better than, like, 2K sucks now. Madden sucks now. Chell and FIFA are the ones that are legit.
Have you played?
Is the new hockey out?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, it's on the way.
Spenny, have you dipped back in the past to 94 NHL for Sega Genesis?
Oh, it's elite.
Make Gretzky bleed, baby.
Yeah, that's elite.
Right. That's what Ozzy and I used to. Ozzy, I, and Mike Castleman. I lived upstairs. They lived downstairs. Our first year when we were 20.
Yeah.
In Glens Falls, New York, we just sit downstairs, get hammered, drink, shoot sunflower seeds, and play Sega all night long.
Yes.
I remember that video of Draper's kid using you on the NHL game.
Hell yeah.
That was sweet.
My kid did the same thing.
Yeah.
Used drapes and all that stuff.
Cicerelli in front of the net,
though.
absolute janitor.
Oh,
cleaned everything
in
up.
that game, yes.
I had him sign my actual cartridge back in the day.
Of course you did.
Love it.
And then Robert Colosia in there, the residential lawyer of the Big D Energy
What's up,
Shout
counselor?
says, look out for a mix of the top lawyers to represent these women, talking about the scandal going on with the Tigers organization right now.
Yikes.
Yeah, get y'all shit together.
So there's a bunch of fans that I've just been hearing from over the last week or so, and we'll come back to this after we hit the break. But Phil,
Oh, my boy.
full
Phil,
of
man.
poo, Anson. Bears are more motivated. Even MCDC seems heartless.
What?
Heartless?
That's just Phil.
Heartless?
Forgive Phil.
I mean, talk about a 4-day recency bias.
What, is flannel now, Phil?
No,
What's going on?
Separate people,
Jesus. Is this a doppelganger?
but yeah.
No, they'll be motivated, but
heartless.
No.
He called him heartless,
No,
D-Mac.
and I think what some people are taking away from that is when Dan Campbell went to the podium, he wasn't angry. He wasn't ripping the mic off the fucking podium. He came up there with very calm demeanor and said, hey, this wasn't our best day, and we are capable of better. Like, we got shit to clean up.
So kneecap Dan Campbell might have ripped it off. 5 years. This is 5 years into the business.
He's grown
where
up.
He knows where he's at, and
Right.
he's had this experience. So I would take the coach's demeanor and how he takes it, not like to more of your point, Anson. Like, there were plays and there were moments that they were still in the game. Us as fans in the eyeball test is just like, it's got to get a lot better, and that's not to the standard that we hold our team.
Yeah.
Right? So for him to come out of that, like, you got to understand he's there with these guys every day, and he does that. Why coaches do that in front of the media? It's because of the perception that comes off to the team.
Yeah.
Don't think he's not got somebody tearing a strip off him in his office. Mm-hmm. I think all of you know how that works.
Yeah.
Do you not? So, like, let's just sit back and although I enjoyed your use of the word poo, Phil, I gotta think that Heartless was a little
A little aggressive.
a little aggressive.
A little aggressive. Well, let's take a pause here, pay some bills, Spenny.
Tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, guys. Hey, your fitness is absolutely essential. We know this. And this place, well, they're all around Metro Detroit. They're all around the country because Planet Fitness is for everyone, whether it's experienced routine gym goers or beginners just starting that fitness journey. We invite everyone to come in and get strong in their own way. It's a judgment-free environment where you're free to get strong again on your way, on your time. Over 2,700 clubs nationwide with 50-plus in Metro Detroit. Access to the Black Card Spa where you can recover with hydro massage and other innovative amenities. Bring a guest for free anytime, and you're only paying $24.99 a month for that membership. Unbelievable deal. We're all strong on this planet, so let's get strong together at Planet Fitness.
And what about Sharon's Heating and Cooling?
Oh, Sharon's Heating
Sharon.
and Cooling. Sharon, well,
Sharon's caring.
and we're going to give a shout out to our friends over at Sharon's Heating and Cooling, proudly serving Metro Detroit for over 40 years with their reliable service and treating customers like their family. They offer it all: heating, cooling, indoor quality, water heaters, whole home generators, and memberships as well. Right now, DTE gas customers get a free furnace tune-up through December 1st. Call Sharon's Heating and Cooling today at 734-238-3839, or that code, that QR code above my head, just give it a scan and tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights from Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Catch Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, where he shares top-tier advice to keep athletes in peak condition. Trust the guy I trust, Dr. Jeff Pierce. He's here to help you stay in the game and perform at your best. Learn more at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
11:34 in Metro Detroit. Here it's BDE. I'm Anson Wells. I'm in for Neil Rule today, joined by the legend himself, Darren McCarty. Shout out to KG and Spenny in the booths. We've got an awesome DMAC autograph card today. You see it right here underneath that Stanley Cup. That is going to the best super chat that we get in today, and Spenny will make that decision. So keep those super chats coming in. Smash that like button. We're a little low on likes, guys, and we're also a little low on likes when it comes to the offseason moves for this team. For the Detroit Lions, we know that we're going to get a good draft class because, well, that is what our regime does. Brad is able to go out and identify great players, are able to develop them. However, for a few years now, our fans have been a little unhappy with the big moves, with the big trades, with the offseason signings. I liked what the team did this offseason, but the question for you guys at home, did Brad Holmes do enough in the offseason for these Detroit Lions? Spenny, I'm going to go to you first.
No, I don't think he did. When you look at – I look at the trifecta of players in Zadarius Smith, Matt Judon, and Kevin Zeitler. Two guys that were in the building and one guy that they had talks about. All of them – I mean, Zeitler got paid a little bit more than you would want to have spent for him, but still you have this money you're sitting on that you're – probably going to roll over into next year's cap space, and a guy like Zadarius Smith who signed for, I believe, what is like a $3 million base salary with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Matt Judon signed with like a $6 million base salary with the Miami Dolphins. Now, obviously, I expect some move to be made this season, whether it's at the deadline or around the first couple weeks, to give you kind of a punch in this lineup. But I think out of those three guys, you got to bring in one of them, and you look at the two most glaring factors of the Week 1 loss to the Green Bay Packers, and that was the interior offensive line play and the lack of pressure on Jordan Love.
You heard the three names, D-Mac, Zeitler, Judon, and Zadarius. Which one in the lineup on Sunday would have made the biggest impact for this team?
Probably, well, right now, Zeitler.
I agree.
I would think just because the running game with two of the arguably best backs in the league, tandem just was pretty non-existent. I mean, Monty did his thing, dust and dirt for 3 to 5 yards and stuff like this, but it didn't look, the cohesion wasn't there. And I think that just the experience of Zeitler too, and knowing, and we're not saying we signed a guy from another team. This is a guy that was here last year, so he knows what's going on. I think the biggest glaring, like I said earlier, I believe that they're going to figure out pressure, right, and how they're going to use it, and we'll see it better. But I don't know how the loss of Frank Ragnow at the early part of the season, because we've seen it with other teams. We saw it with Philadelphia and Jason Kelsey. We saw it. It takes some time. They went 2-2 to start the season. It takes time to sort of develop that. Do they have the talent and the guys there to do the job? I believe they do, but they're not in cohesion.
Yeah.
Right? When Spenny tells me that, like I try to watch. Right, and I just see it how I do. But when he points out the glaring things that an offensive lineman can see an offensive lineman not do, or pressure, or point out missed blocks and stuff like this, that's the glaring thing. I think it's cohesion and all the stuff that we've talked about. But they just got to get it done. So I would say Zeitler, even as bad as the pressure was.
I agree.
That would be the guy.
And I do believe that if they knew, like, I don't think they knew Frank was going to retire this year. I think they knew it was coming down the line, but I don't think they knew. I don't even think he knew. So it's not on him.
I agree.
If they did know that, I believe they would have tried harder to keep Kevin Zeitler for at least another season.
KG, you got the checkbook. You get to sign one of these three guys. Which one you putting on?
I mean, it would clearly be Zeitler. Although he is older, he's still very, very productive. And you need as much veteran offensive experience as you can get. But I'm not mad at the fact that they thought that they could get younger. They went out and got a Tate Ratledge, good pedigree coming from Georgia. They slotted in Christian Mahogany, who last year did, in limited sample size, did show us that he is capable of holding down that role. But now that he is in full time, the communication has to get better. So I don't think it's the players. I just think it's just an adjustment to what they need to know in regards to, certain plays, like Spinney alluded to, the checks and different audibles that may happen throughout a game. But it would clearly be Zeitler. I know people clamor for edge rusher, but Brad Holmes, I mean, there wasn't a lot of spots on this team that needed drastic improvement. If it was a drastic improvement needed, then I feel like he would have done that. We've seen him do it with the secondary. To a degree, he's done it with the interior of the defensive line. And, yeah, everybody wants an edge rusher. I want an edge rusher, too. Don't get me wrong. But the guys who we have here are who we have here now. And you just need better play from the guys you have here, because you have Hutchback. Davenport is healthy so far. And you got other people. I mean, they drafted Hassanin. You was hoping that he would make it, to the start of the season. We will see him later on in the season, most likely. But, yeah, I think that they have everything they need. We just need those guys to play better. That's all.
I agree. I think Zeitler was the gaffe by this administration over the offseason. I think you pay a little bit over to keep that continuity in the line. I think Spenny hit the nail on the head, though. It's one thing to replace one guy on a great line. I don't think that they knew they had to replace two.
Right.
I do believe that week 6 or so, I think that the offensive line, they start to click, and this isn't a big conversation like it is right now. I think that Hutch gets home once or twice on Sunday, and now we're not talking about that, the pressure as much, because let's be honest, Caleb Catfish is going to hold on to the ball, and he's going to get sacked on Sunday. So that being said, let's say that those worries are dismissed. Catfish Caleb Williams,
He's been
baby.
trying to get that name off.
But it's the truth.
Now.
He catfished us all in quarter number 1.
Yeah.
And then he showed his true colors, But
I like it, Anson.
I appreciate you, D-Mac. You should see the photo. So my question, I guess, is we're going back to that offseason. Did he do enough? What is the one other signing or position that you guys would have addressed that you think would have helped us last Sunday and again this Sunday?
I think those are the two spots.
That's it.
Yeah. It really is. Like I said, nobody's saying, "Oh, it's over. These guys suck." They're gonna get better. If you were listening to what I said earlier, a lot of it was miscommunications and just rookie young stuff. So
Which is fixable.
They're gonna get better. I expect a drastic improvement from last week to this week. But yeah, the two things that were the most glaring and the most obvious were the interior offensive line and the edge position, which we all knew was going to happen, which was the entire talk of the offseason. These are the two spots that need to step up. These are the two spots where you lost talent, and the young guys are going to have to be better. So it'll take some time, but I'm not worried about it. They're gonna bounce back.
I think so too. It would be nice to have Zeitler right now, though. I'm not sure where the leadership on that line is coming from after Penei Sewell, and Panay's got enough to worry about on that end there. Having those old guys in the middle of that line, they do look exposed right now. Do you think that Tate is the guy? Do you think that he should be under center at this point so Glasgow can be somewhere where he's comfortable?
No. I think that would just be putting even more on his plate.
Yeah.
He needs to – he's just got to lock in, and they've got to communicate better. I look at it as Graham let him down. Like, I know it's Tate. 100%. He's a rookie.
I wanted to ask that.
But Graham is the veteran, and you have to make sure that your rookie knows what he's fucking doing. Yep. You got to make sure that he knows the play, that it's communicated to him. And it's on Tate for sure, but I'm looking at Graham. And that's why I'm not harping or freaking out on this too much, because I know Hank Fraley, Penei Sewell, and Taylor Decker are in those fucking meeting rooms with the offensive line, and they know that shit. These guys know they didn't play well. These guys know that that's not acceptable. They're going to be fine.
I mean, the blessing is it's in the middle, right? And I know you never want your center or your guards, but, you still – between Decker and Sewell, man in the edges, you just got to, figure out how to stop it. And I think that you nailed it on the head, because there's huge responsibility for Glasgow being the veteran there to help out on both sides. But there's communication, and that would probably be right number 1 or number 2 of what led to the loss, to be in the way and why it looked that way. Yeah. Right? It just looked non-cohesive, and it was out of sorts for a team that we've watched for so long. So it's something new, and I believe that you're right. I believe eventually, like Spenny, do you think? I wouldn't be surprised if later on in the season, maybe after the bye week, it's something that's evolved to that Rutledge going to center. But right now, let's just let's work on the timing of keeping the guys out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from our friends over at Les Stanford.
I'll tell you about Les Stanford. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. They got deals for everybody. I'm going to be getting in there very soon in the next week or two to get my new lease. My guy Goran has made the process so easy. So make sure you call him, and he'll get you into the car of your dreams. Like I said, scan the QR code on the screen. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. LesStanford.com. Together, let's ride. And Anson, what about the college football show?
Hey, Tuesday nights, you got to join Haley and Justin. The crisp fall mornings are rolling in. That means college football is back, so let the two of them get you on point with what's going around in the NCAA. Stay locked in with everything college football all season long, from touchdowns to tailgates, rivalries to rankings. We've got you covered. Don't miss a minute on the Woodward College Football Show, Tuesdays starting at 7:15. Your home for all things Wolverines and Spartans.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Hey, if you guys have been watching Woodward Sports, you have been watching every single host go bananas over these Sun Cruiser iced tea vodka drinks, because Sundays in Detroit got a whole lot smoother with Sun Cruiser vodka, iced tea, and Woodward Sports Network. It's real vodka. It's real iced tea. There's no bubbles. It's just clean, a crisp sip that won't fill you up on game day. Only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, perfect for tailgates, couch gates, or wherever you're watching Detroit football. So this season, let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser and Woodward Sports. Please drink responsibly. Welcome back to BDE on a Wednesday. We are talking Detroit Lions. We're talking Catfish Caleb. We got the legend D-Mac here. Talking Alex Anzalone. He's got an issue with the fans around Detroit, questioning coordinators. He's gone out on a limb and saying that they are not highly intelligent.
So we got the video if you want to play it.
I would love to hear that video.
Here's Alex Anzalone.
There's going to be some conversations about, are these the right coordinators for the team now? What are your thoughts?
After week one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, the fans are not, whoever's saying that's not highly intelligent.
I mean, given how you guys did in practice defensively and everything, was it, I guess, surprising that, the way they started off and they were able to...
I mean, they started off hot, and they had some, their first 15 plays were good scheme plays, and we weathered the storm defensively. Obviously, we gave up that first long drive, but at the same time, you got to take the good and learn from the mistakes that happen. But this isn't a situation where anyone's panicking or whatnot. Just we're on the road, we got our ass beat, and we got to move on.
D-Mac, what do you think of that hair?
Well, I was going to say, I didn't hear what he said, but I was just staring at that hair. He's got the best. He's got the best hair. Thorzalone. I love it.
That flow was crazy.
No, but he's, that wasn't a diss. It's just like pretty much sit back and you're not using your full brain capacity.
Yeah.
If that's what you're thinking right when he said after week one.
I'm salty.
Which everybody, I don't care who it is in the league, no matter what you think of it, gets a grace period. Now, after week 2, you might
grace period's gone.
Nah, to some people, it's already gone.
Well,
but the ones that Alex are talking to, it's just and I think what he said there, and you look at demeanor, don't get upset. They know they're getting prepared. They understand, what they did. When you're a pro athlete and you have a stinker, right? We know.
Yeah.
You all know. You remind us, today's day and age, there's video and all this stuff. You got
every 2
minutes. Got video. You got more video on video on video. You know what sucks about losing? You got to watch more video.
Yeah.
No, seriously. When you win
bad.
video sessions, and ours weren't long compared to what they are today, but if our 10-minute video session, right, which I know those guys are hours, right, But it turns into, if you're losing or do whatever, it's going to be 20. It's going to be 30, and you did it to yourself. So just for the fact that whatever it is, they get into the flow. And he's a leader. He's one of these leaders, and you watch that demeanor, and that's like business. You know, we know what we did, right? Like, we don't like it, but it's more to what you're seeing is why you're not seeing get upset, because we did it to ourselves. There's a difference when you do it to us than it is when we do it to ourselves. Now, do we all feel that the Lions did that to themselves?
Largely, yes.
Right? Now, I give Green Bay credit,
they're a good
but
team.
if we played our game, like, that's the whole thing. That's why, right? That's why you can accept the San Francisco loss at the time where it was, because even though you blew the lead, you gave everything, and
Right.
guys threw out whatever else, right? Like, you blew up. Last year, it hurt so much against Washington wasn't what they did. It's because that wasn't your team.
Yeah.
They did it to themselves, played the worst game. That's what happened the other day. So I think that the demeanor as a pro is where you can, that everybody, it's not just you. It's not like 10 guys had a great game and you lost. That's
Right.
what would suck.
Big words from a guy who drops wide open interceptions, says I'm salty.
Yeah, no, that would have.
I'm salty.
See,
on
that
the
would have been
road
a game
today.
changer.
Yep.
No, but I
Oh,
mean,
boy,
but
man.
again, moments, right? You got to have those, and you got to step it up. So hopefully, the next one that comes, that you see him squeeze. Yeah, I mean, that's why he's on defense, guys.
I mean, at the same point, though, I get what Anzalone's saying, but to me, that game, as listless and gritless as the Lions looked, are you blaming it on the personnel? Or are we blaming it on communication? Or are we blaming it on coordinators?
Yes.
I think so too, Spenny.
Blaming it on everybody. It was
Right.
It takes an entire organization to look as shitty as they did. Like, you need to make sure you're locked in. And that's, again, why I'm not freaking out, because this team knows this. Like, they looked at that and they know that they played like dog shit. So it's on everybody. It's obviously, it all boils down to the players when you look at it, because they're playing the game and they know that. But it takes the coaches to getting them prepared. It takes the offensive coordinator on the sideline or Hank Fraley on the sideline to say, hey, listen, you guys got to straighten your fucking shit out and make sure shit gets communicated. But it was just bad all in general.
Yeah, we're looking at the chat here.
You already know what that is.
Until the Hun chat summary. Lions suck. Season over. All the talent elite players just forgot how to play. It's a Chicken Little moment for our fan base here, our loyal fan base, the people that spent hundreds of dollars on apparel last Christmas. And now guys are ready to chuck that stuff in the fire already.
But it's stupid.
And that
It is very stupid.
And that's exactly what Anzalone's talking
Right.
about. Those people are stupid. Like, it's fine.
Other great teams go through this. This is life in the NFL.
We were
You're
1-1 the last two seasons.
You're going to have a clunker in there somewhere.
You know what the only question it brings up is, like, do you play your guys in the regular season?
Yeah.
Or in exhibition season? It's like, do you need
I
to
don't
get
think that
them
make-
some reps in, because that's what it looked like.
Well,
No, that's the only question that it brings up to me, is that they were
Right,
rusty.
What's your answer to
and they'll
that?
Prepare.
Would you
It's
play him? I think they should play.
I probably would.
One game.
Right, but it's also a player-to-player veteran situation. But I'll tell you this: if you tell me that you want to sit out exhibition and it's not my choice, and I gave you your choice, and you come out the season like that, you'll be playing a lot of exhibition.
Right.
That's the way it works, and it's different in football. And I understand it's about staying healthy, but the one thing is, how do you feign that line? Because what it looked like is we weren't ready to play.
Yeah. Freddie Feld in the chat. Just got a chance to meet Caitlin Clark, by the way. I saw that in the morning show with Sean Baligan.
Shout out, Freddie.
He says, I'm not flinching, Anson. One pride till the fucking wheels fall off.
And they are far from filler.
And you know, where are the fan bases that are like that all year long? Because, I mean, in Philly, they were calling for his head last year, and they go winning a championship. I feel like Kansas City is about the only fan base that after a loss isn't like it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got three championships, because they know what it takes, and they have. Kansas City has what? At least 2 muffins a year.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah, it's normally-
Are you going to call?
Raiders.
Are you
That
going to call
11-6 year they had?
You're going
Were
to call their opening game against San Diego? Like, they can't be happy with that.
Yep.
But are they going to bounce back? Do you think they're going to bounce back?
Yes.
Zach Soap with the $2 super chat. Darren, how would Scotty react to a loss like this?
No, I mean, like you said, where it's you did it to yourself, it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's pretty much self-explanatory and hold everybody accountable. But what Scotty was good at and what good coaches are is, and you have good leadership in the room, we've already beat them there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, it happens. You just don't, where it happened, when it happened, you don't want to throw a dud, the first time. It was a grand party. We're all waiting.
Yeah.
It hurt even more because you're waiting for the big party.
That's really what it was.
You know what I mean? You're
If this
waiting all
happened next week,
season
it
to
would've
have
been
that,
bad.
and that's what you got. And that wasn't Detroit Lions football.
What's the party like going to be downtown after we whoop up on the Chicago Bears?
Oh, it's going to be glorious, and everyone's going to come back, and, maybe the team ain't that bad. Oh, John Morton actually looked good this game. You already know what this fan base going to do, and I get it, y'all. And I think D-Mac is speaking to something. It's because of the wait. We had all this expectation. We finally got that stink of that playoff game off of us. We're excited for the season. We're going to smoke Green Bay. We go to Green Bay, get our asses handed to us, and now it's just like, all right, what the hell is going on with our team? I don't think it would be as bad if this was a clunker in week 2 or 3 like we've seen the Lions have. Since they've been good, they've had clunkers along the way. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Seattle Seahawks. They've done this before, and we've panicked before, but never to this level. This is ridiculous what we're doing.
It's because we didn't have a win in front of that loss.
Didn't you feel worse when Green Bay came in here and beat on Thanksgiving than you did? You know what I'm saying? That was more, to me, embarrassing with the effort to do national right?
Right.
And what happened since that? Did we get over that?
Yes, sir.
Did we come back and play good football from there?
Yes, we have.
Right? What did we do the week after? Anybody look that up?
I know we won because we haven't been losing back to back.
And
I'm
we
just
won
saying.
before that.
Go look it
fought
up.
out with the Bears, I remember. So.
But what I'm saying is there's going to be those games.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if you want to do it yourself, you got to head over to Black Rock, and we will tell you all about that.
And you go there and you tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and you get 20% off of your order. It's Black Rock. Come on. Black Rock. Restaurants.com. They had the heavyweights out there. It was so much fun. They took care of us, and we just gave away 4 tickets to the Detroit football opener on the heavyweights yesterday for the winner, Canna. So shout out to her. We called her live on air and gave her the tickets. And shout out to Black Rock for taking care of the people and taking care of us. Remember, if you go there, say Woodward Sports sent you, you'll get 20% off your total bill.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
And there's Tom Mazaway right across the street pulling into Jack's Car Wash because Woodward Sports and Jack's Car Wash have partnered to hook you up with a free car wash. Just text WSN to that number you see there, 888-522-1729 to enjoy their top-tier service for free with free vacuums, compressed air, matte cleaning rooms at select locations. Join that unlimited club and take advantage of all the perks of being a member. Wash at any of their 40-plus locations twice a month, and the membership pays for itself. Or, like Maz, you can go every day. Upgrades for interior cleaning and detail are also available at 8 different locations across Michigan. So head on over to jackscarwash.com to see a location near you. Don't wait. Text now. Shine on. Welcome back. We are into the second hour now here at BDE. I'm Anson. This is Darren McCarty. Of course, we got KG and Spenny making us look and sound good. And somebody that looked really, really good. Most of the team didn't, but somebody came away looking really, really good on Sunday, and it was maybe the catch of the year. It was one Isaac, don't call me Coleslaw Tesla. And I believe we've got some video. No, that one's his, right? Coleslaw?
No.
That was, somebody put it out there that it's Coleslaw because he's white and he's dangerous to leave open.
I love that one. It's so good.
It's a good one.
I said he was white OBJ based on that catch.
Well, while we're doing nicknames,
white OBJ.
While we're doing nicknames, you liked one from a little bit earlier. Spenny's got the graphic that I brought up. We'll take a look at the Catfish Caleb. Like those nails?
Oh my gosh, are they like? I know they're painted, but have they got all like bear stuff on them and stuff?
Well, he actually has them really painted in there, and I just kind of photoshopped a little.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the ultimate catfish, and everybody's going to finally realize it this year. We got a glimpse last year, but it looks like Isaac Tesla is anything but a catfish. He is the real deal, Spenny.
Yeah, here's what Dan Campbell had to say about getting him more involved in the offense.
When do you start thinking about maybe making more of the pie of that number 3 receiver role his?
Yeah, well, I think we really wanted to try to get him involved last week, but then he got sick and he missed a lot of practice, so then we didn't feel comfortable, trying to load him up with stuff. And so it was going to be very limited, but certainly we'd like to use him more, there's something there. So looks like he's back and feels pretty good, and it was good to see him make a play. He was only in 3 plays on offense, but he did a good job on those 3, made that big catch. So, we're going to start trying to get him some reps.
So much.
My buddy calls it touchdown deodorant. When guys aren't in very much, you remember Jahan Dotson, a guy that went completely forgotten after catching like 8-9 touchdowns his first year. Only 3 plays, as you heard there. One of them is capped off with a touchdown. All I've been hearing this week is that they are going to dial up more opportunities for this kid, and I'm excited. I know Detroit's excited. Are you excited about this kid, D-Mac?
No, 100%. When he was drafted, too. And look, he's a Michigan kid. He's a little kid. He's got the ties. I can realize and understand being able to put on the jersey of your favorite pro team, your hometown team growing up. It's such an honor. My question to you guys is it game 2 that you see him slide into the number 3 spot because, where Khalif Raymond is? Because I think that's the spot that he's going to occupy sooner than later. I didn't know he was sick last week.
Yeah.
Right? To say that's why he didn't. So if you're looking for anybody out there, well, why wouldn't you, even though he's a rookie and we hear all these things out of camp? So now he's getting ready. So I think that, they realize what they have. But again, Spenny, it goes back to if they can't give Goff time, it doesn't matter how good your receivers are.
Yeah, true.
So I think sooner than later, maybe not game 2 because those 2, but by 3 and 4, you're going to see a guy. He's going to get at least 5 targets a game.
Yeah.
And then and probably more in the red zone. Like you, let's go back to that catch. How many guys can make that catch?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, right? So just showing you that he can go up one-handed, bring it down with body control and stuff, just opens so much more up. I think that as Amon-Ra St. Brown is like your little post dart, little quick play screen, or off the edge, Saslaw's going to go up big, and I think he's going to, you see more not the Calvin because no one's Calvin big, but more like Herman, stuff like that. But he gives somebody who can contest, right? And to me, it's like when you watch that touchdown, the body control, how he stopped himself in midair to get that foot down and just sort of knew it.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's just crazy. But these are why these guys are sort of like they're acrobats / ballerinas / with what they can do. So I think it's sooner than later because I think this kid's just going to keep. You give him the opportunities, and I think he's going to keep shining. So
he excels every time you give him an opportunity, and they got to work in more Tesla. And no disrespect to Khalif Raymond. We love Khalif Raymond. A lot of people were wondering why are we seeing so much of Khalif on, this past weekend. And it probably was because Tesla, was sick. But they plan on getting him involved. And I think them coming out saying that shows you they did want to utilize him more in week 1. Wasn't able to do that. But going forward, Tesla is going to be a big part of this offense.
And doesn't he open up JMO?
He opens up a lot of things.
KG, you've come a long way on this conversation because it was just 3 weeks ago that you told me that Tim Patrick was the number 3 on this team.
Anson, was Tim Patrick on the team still at that point?
He was,
okay.
And he's been traded.
He's
but
not
wait,
on the team anymore.
Now we're talking about Khalif Raymond over Tesla as the number 3. That's not going to last long at all.
No, of course.
And very soon, and it might be this week, Tesla, as you mentioned, D-Mac, is going to be the number 3. How much more dynamic, gentlemen in the booths, is this offense with Tesla out there 60% of snaps?
Yeah, I'm excited to see him out there and get more options. And Jacob Shinabarger in the Woodward Sports Chat says Tesla doesn't have elite speed, but he doesn't need it. He had a 4.44.
Yeah, what?
He's got elite
for that
speed.
size. It is elite. You put pads on him, and he's
wait a sec. What? 4.4.
He had a 4.44.
Okay, what's the fastest guy in the league?
4.2.
4.2.
JMO said he ran a 4.2.
Jacob, what do you run the 40 in?
Yeah.
Let me ask you that.
Shit, 5'8".
I expect him to get a lot more looks against the Bears, and I expect this offense to look a lot better against the Bears. But we need the running game to step up. I want to see David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs get more action than Tesla.
150
and
yards
we need
combined
those
at
guys.
least.
Yeah, for sure.
That's key. And if you can get that running game off, I mean,
That
the
was
play
the
action
thing
pass game was not working at all.
Yeah, and we got a super chat in there, and I think this is the early contender for the Darren McCarty autographed card.
Shout out.
Up for speculation. Says today is my mom's birthday. She's a football head. If she is not worried about the Lions, neither am I. Also, D-Mac, Stevie Y, and Gretzky are the only NHL players she knows. So she says hello, D-Mac.
What's her name?
He did not say what her name was.
What's his name?
His name is Up for Speculation.
Up for Speculation's mom, you have a happy birthday. And you know what? I like where your head's at. And you're not going to get overexcited or worried or what. I'm not either. So good. Thank you for that.
We might have to get her first name because that is a real front runner for this signed autographed D-Mac card. Maybe we can get it inscribed to her for her birthday. But, yeah, I mean, Isaac Tesla is kind of the wild card that this team didn't really have last year. I guess J-Mo was that wild card, and he did kind of come through. So this year now, the offense once again has a guy that offensive coordinators might be scheming for but aren't truly prepared for.
They can't scheme for him. You cannot scheme for Isaac Tesla because you have to scheme for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta and this run game. Isaac Tesla is not going to be a focus point of any offensive or defensive coordinator's game plan against the Detroit Lions because he's the wide receiver 3. You can't game plan for a wide receiver 3. You got to worry about the 1, 2, and running backs first.
And tight end.
So he's going to be getting a lot of reps against probably the worst defensive back on the field. And I think he's going to take advantage of it.
And I like the fact that when you have a young guy like this that you don't have NFL tape on.
Yeah.
Right? Very limited tape on it or whatever. So, and somebody who wasn't in the building when Ben Johnson was here. So, that might play into it. But yeah, I'd look for him. But again, all this stuff, you got to get to your third check down. What do you need?
Yeah.
Time, baby. Time and protection.
We do have a stat about that. Let's go to break. We'll come back. It's a stat about Jared Goff's time and what he did with it in that first game against the Green Bay Packers. But first, where are we at here?
Feldman.
Let me tell you about Feldman Chevrolet. Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They've got 5 different locations for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out. And shout out to our guy, Jay Feldman. He's been a great sponsor at the network. He's a great dude, helps out the community, gives back to a lot of different charities. So make sure if you're looking for a new car, Feldman Chevrolet is your first choice. They're Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
At Gold Crown, concentrates are their bread and butter. Crafting elite collabs extracts since the caregiver days. Gold Crown partners with craft growers across Michigan to bring you exclusive full-spectrum concentrates, infused pre-rolls, and live resin-infused gummies. Their new line, Crown Jewels, is here. Gelatin-free, effect-based, coated in nerds for the extra pop. Find Gold Crown in over 300 dispensaries statewide. Smoke like royalty, all rise for the reign of royal highs, only with Gold Crown.
And only with BDE do we get Spenny's top 5.
Oh, we're not yet. Not today. We are going to do the top. We're waiting for tomorrow for Neil to return. Sorry, no offense to Anson, but
No,
I'm offended.
Get the fuck out of here.
I take offense.
We got Neil and D-Mac back for the first time.
The last time I was here, we did Bodies of Water. We had so much fun with Bodies of Water, too.
We couldn't think of one before the show. So.
We asked
Just
you
like
to think-
Tesla, you
we
get to
asked you
playing
to
time
think
when
one.
Neil's not here.
Absolutely. So tomorrow, actually, because it will be the Neil and I back together, we're going to do a top 5, and we're going to bring back Thursday fights.
Hey, shout out to Brenda on her 62nd birthday.
Brenda.
Up for speculation. Just
Brenda.
super chat us to let us know.
Brenda.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Brenda.
All right, so what are we doing? We doing some college football? Where do you want to go, Spenny?
We can keep talking Lions. We talked about Isaac Tesla and what's going on there. And D-Mac made a good point that you have to have time in the pocket to allow these deep breaking routes to work. And here is this is from our guy Al, football guy Al on Twitter. We've had him on the heavyweights a couple times. Jared Goff, he had a 3.09 second average time to throw, which was third longest in the NFL in week 1, with his 27.3 pressure rate was only the 11th lowest. So obviously you'd like to be lower than 11th, but 11th isn't awful. And third longest time to throw is pretty good. So Goff had time in the pocket.
OC?
I think it's more on the route combinations. I do. You look at what was going on, and we heard Dan Campbell speak about that as well. He talked about that was the game plan, and that has been the game plan against the Green Bay Packers, where we're looking at these vertical routes and these attacking routes down the field, and if they aren't there, then you check it down, and that's what Jared Goff did a lot, was check it down to Jahmyr Gibbs, and it was moving the ball. But what I look at, what Johnny Morton really shit the bed was in the red zone, and that's what really hurts, because you were moving the ball, but you didn't score touchdowns, and you got to score touchdowns if you want to win football games. And Johnny Morton did not do good in the red zone with his play calling, and some of those route combinations on those deep breaking routes were not the best.
Zach Soap in the super chat says the coaches, he pulled it back. He said the coaches let us down more than they did in the playoffs. You're talking about some silver linings. I saw a lot of them, from the time of possession to the way that the defense played. But that offense, they didn't look comfortable. They made plays at times, but they couldn't capitalize and finish off drives. The red zone issues were glaring.
Yeah.
But at the same point, this is a situation that can just be righted with one good drive and a touchdown.
It was a lot like the Tampa Bay game last year where you couldn't run the ball very well. And obviously Vita Vea was a part of that, but they ran the ball better against Tampa than they did against the Bucs, or against the Packers. But that puts the ball in Jared Goff's hands, and he's going to have to throw the ball a lot, and they weren't effective in the red zone. And that was the reason they lost the Tampa Bay game at home last year, was they were moving the ball, but they couldn't score when they got in the red zone. So that's one of the biggest things. That needs to be fixed, and hopefully against the Bears we see good efficiency in the red zone.
Yeah. Goff didn't look great. I'm hearing it in the chat here. D-Mac, when it comes to Jared Goff, considering the stats that Spenny just shared with us, have you lost faith in this kid as the starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions?
No. Too early to that. I'm not impressed with his last two performances, right? And he's got to be better, but I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, this is a guy that has put up the numbers, and he is the leader. Right? Like, it's sort of, I laugh because it's sort of like the Eiserman argument. He's your guy, so I mean, you better get with it, but you don't have to be happy about it. I mean, and in hearing that, I mean, it'll be more apparent, and I think that you nailed it. The biggest thing is, like, Goff went all last year in the red zone without a pick and whatever, and he gets in there, and the one chance where you had to score and make it, where it would have, sort of changed the game, he throws an interception on a great book study, right? That's a jump the route safety on Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, I mean, again, the Packers just did more. So he's got to be better with the ball. The one thing I like about Jared Goff, and sometimes it frustrates you, but he usually takes care of the ball and doesn't make those interceptions. So whether it was game planning, whether it's his execution, to me I'm with Kenny. Falls down to your veteran guys now. You're not a bunch of rookies and whatever. You got to execute.
KG, the Lions win on Sunday. Who are we talking about after the game?
That's a good question. I mean, Jared Goff, I didn't feel like he played bad in this last game. He was 31 of 39. And I get the fact that, he had 3 seconds in the pocket, but I think it was two things. One, the run game was not working. And when the run game's not working, that takes away one of his greatest abilities, which is the play action pass. Secondly, they were getting a lot of pressure with just 4 guys, which means they had extra people in coverage. Even on the interception, you can see that when he was staring down Amon-Ra, there was 3 people in that area. But he chose to throw it anyway because the pressure was coming, and he gets picked off. But overall, I didn't feel like he played bad. But I think that if they do win Sunday, you would have to talk about the performance that Jared Goff, and maybe not just him, but the whole offense coming together as a collective would look better in that game. I think that's what you would focus on.
Spenny, Sonny, only one aspect of the Lions offense is working, either the run game or the pass game. Would it be enough to win that game?
If it's the run game, yes. I think you're going to have to run the ball, and you have to punch in touchdowns in the red zone. If only one works, it has to be the run.
Has to be
the
run.
Run opens up everything.
No, I agree with that. I'm not sure that the Lions can win this game if only one is working. It would have to be the run game, though. I agree. If that's the case, they're going to respect the pass, and it maybe isn't a great day for Goff, but they can still win that game. But I got to be honest, looking at the Bears, I don't think they're much better than they were last year. They still look lost on offense mostly at times, but the defense looked improved. They were without 3 Pro Bowlers in game 1. They're going to have 2 of those guys back in the lineup. I think that both sides of our offense need to be clicking for us to soundly win this game. The running game works and the defense works. We can win a close game, but are Lions fans going to be okay with a marginal victory on Sunday?
They need to be. You've been clamoring all about how they lost to the Packers. I don't want to hear that shit if they go in there and win. I don't care how it looks. Get the dub, get it done. But I think it's all in pass protection because everything else will be fine, but I think that the guards have made themselves targets now for other teams. A lot of teams are just going to assume, okay, we're going to send multiple guys up these A and B gaps and see what these rookie guards can do. And it's going to be upon them to play better because they're going to have a lot of heat coming their way. So if they can do that, I feel like everything else will fall into place.
What needs to happen for this team, D-Mac, on Sunday? What's the one thing that you see us talking about post-game as being the reason we won?
The effectiveness of the run game to open up the passing game. You nailed it. This is what this team's all about. When Jared Goff can get into play action, he's dangerous. That's when guys get moving. Also, too, you got to be able to handle the 4-man pressure, because if Chicago's able to drop another guy back, it's going to have a little bit more of the same. So I think this is a game, and we saw just the predictability, especially early. It was all Gibbs, and then it was all Montgomery and whatever like this. I don't care who does it, but they got to establish the run game to open up Jared Goff, because obviously you're telling me that they can get protection. It's just that you're not throwing off enough guys and getting that mismatch. So the running game is a parrot.
Yeah, I think that's paramount for this team. And you want to head to break quick here? Talk about how paramount Mad Packs is to your mental health.
Yeah, I needed some Mad Packs after the Packers game, that's for sure. Make sure you get some to celebrate or to console yourself after the next Lions game. Go to getmadpacks.com. You can find what stores carry the best product in the game, whether it's the high-low pre-rolls, the Boom Shakalaka Tarantula, the Blizzard Pack THC Moon Rocks, or any of their top-shelf strains. Go to getmadpacks.com to find a store near you carrying it. It's Mad Packs, Mad Flavor, Mad High, Mad Packs.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The weather might be getting cold, but at Loom, the good vibes are heating up. Buzzin'! Sparkling THC beverages are here to take you into fall with bold, crisp flavors. For a limited time, their brand new seasonal drop, apple cider. Get you some today. Each can is 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles, made with real fruit juice, zero artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no hangover. Perfect for bonfires, tailgates, or backyard barbecues. Find Buzzin' at all 39 Loom Cannabis Company locations across Michigan. Order online at loom.com. Use code WSN30 to save 30% off your entire order.
So is cider season like pumpkin spice season? Are there others?
Yeah, but better.
It's better, huh?
Yes.
I'm not a pumpkin spice guy.
Stick is.
Stick's a big pumpkin spice.
I like pumpkin. Now what do you like hot cider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot apple cider.
I can do hot. I like it cold, but I can do hot
just
cider.
a couple sips.
Yeah.
Do you like hot cider?
I do like hot cider. Yeah. I'm not a big pumpkin spice guy.
Do they have like a Canadian Halloween thing that we don't have down here?
No, we have Halloween the same day.
I meant like a flavor for
we
the
just
Halloween
put maple
season.
syrup, maple
on
syrup.
everything.
Maple syrup and ketchup.
On everything.
Little Heinz bottles in the bag.
So it all dressed is it really royalty in the chip land of Canada? Is that a thing too?
Say what?
All dressed, is that like
all dressed ketchup chips?
All dressed chips are really good.
All dressed are real good. You got shreddies.
I got to get the
We got the coffee crisp and the Aero bar.
Yeah, the Aero bar is chronic.
Yeah.
And
caramel.
Shout out to Sandy. She sent us the what kind of chips were those? I can't remember. They were like only from Canada. It was like some special flavor.
Ketchup ones or
there was ketchup ones, and then there was another one that was like I can't remember what it was. But shout out to Sandy.
They were good.
They were really good. And she's having her surgery today. So
shout out
prayers
Sandy.
up to her. Hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah.
Cider or pumpkin spice, NFL or college, yes, there is other football going on right now. And Spenny, there's an undefeated team in the state of Michigan.
There sure is.
Who are they?
That's a Michigan State Spartans.
That's right. Go green, buddy.
You know what?
Have you ever been
No
swallowed?
doubt about it. KG, awful quiet over there, not smiling
Oh,
very
you're
big.
fine. I'm good.
Now, that game, the Michigan-Oklahoma game, pretty interesting game. I thought that you saw Bryce Underwood trying to overcome his inexperience with the physical gifts that he has. It worked against the Lobos of New Mexico. Didn't quite work out so well against the Sooners. Where are you at with the development of Bryce Underwood?
I think that if they allow him to go out there and use those physical traits that you talked about, this Michigan offense could look a lot different. They already have a great running game already with Justin Haynes and Jordan Marshall. I love that combination. When Marlon Klein gets back, he'll have a really good tight end to throw to as well. So the main pieces are there. And the offensive line, we hope that El Hadi is okay because he was our best offensive lineman, but they've looked slightly better from what they were last year. I think they have the dogs in there to maintain that. It's just all about the play calling and opening this offense up for Bryce Underwood. I can't continue to see screen after screen after screen. And the fact that they haven't had any design runs or just even let him throw the ball more is kind of been disappointing. But overall, defensively, I feel like we're going to be okay. I like Wink Martindale. He has times where he kind of blunders, but he gets it together. And everything is there for this Michigan team if you allow Bryce to go out there and be Bryce.
And what is that? Running, allowing him to run?
Well, he's not like, a Lamar Jackson type. He can kill you with his legs, but he is a pocket passer, and I do respect the fact that they want to keep him in the pocket and elevate that part of his game. He has a rocket arm. He can get the ball downfield, so that's not a concern. I think that the playmakers need to step up a little bit more, the receivers, McCauley, Samaj Morgan, and like I said, when Marlon Klein gets back, that'll kind of help that out, but they have to step up a little bit more. And yeah, if you're going to let the kid throw, give him enough of attempts to actually, maybe change a football game.
Spenny, Bryce Underwood or Aiden Childs in 2025? Who would you rather have under center for your team?
Aiden Childs, but Bryce Underwood's he's gonna improve. He's gonna be better. He's really good, and he's gonna be a great player for Michigan. So I'm worried about him. But Aiden Childs has looked very good so far. He made some improvements that we needed out of him last year. Like the arm talent was there, the athleticism was there, but he was playing like a fucking idiot, and he was making very bad decisions. So now, obviously, it's only 2 weeks. But you like the decision-making from him, and hopefully he continues to improve.
What does it take to get Nick Marsh in New York for the Heisman ceremony?
Double-digit touchdowns and at least 1,000 yards.
And what about our record? What are the Spartans?
They would have to win 9 or 10 games.
Is that possible?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I think this is going to be Youngstown State. You should take care of business. I want to see you go out there and blow them out 50-10.
They should.
And then
USC
in USC. It's going to be a challenge.
Could be a 3-0 undefeated matchup between both teams.
Very well could. And that's something. I'd like to see. That's something I'd like to see them go out there on the road in the Coliseum and take care of USC.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I got to be honest. I have a lot more hope for that late October matchup between the rivals Michigan and Michigan State.
You should.
I'm not sure how the defense is going to be able to get to Bryce Underwood. I've seen him make a lot of different throws. Very Stafford-esque. He's got the sidearm. He's got some touch. He's got some zip. Looked a lot different, some of the plays he was attempting to make against a better defense in Oklahoma than the ones he got away with versus New Mexico. I think if the Spartans can have an inspired day on defense, that you can push this kid into making enough mistakes where Aiden Childs and Nick Marsh can really maybe steal a game from Spartan Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be a matchup to watch. It was close last year. Michigan State should have won last year, but Aiden Childs made bad decisions coming down the stretch, and they did not win that game. You look at Michigan, that was the reason, and you look at Boston College last year, and that was the reason. So he's got to execute, and obviously there's still a long way to go before that happens, but Bryce is going to improve as the season goes on. He's very young. I know that some Michigan fans were saying he could play snaps in the NFL right now, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. But he's going to improve as the year goes on. So we're going to see a different Bryce Underwood in that matchup against Michigan State than we saw against Oklahoma.
D-Mac, do you have an affiliation with either school?
No, I'm Canadian, man. I cheer for all Michigan teams.
I love that answer.
No, and I'd like to see them both successful. And, when you're talking about what I like, obviously gritty double overtime win by Michigan State, but what I liked is their competitiveness. It looks like Sparty football. Yeah, there's, some mistakes and some sloppiness here and there, but they competed, right? Especially, when your question marks in your secondary and your DBs and stuff like that. That's just the way it's going to be. But I like the way that they competed. They stuck together like a team, like Spenny said. Aiden Childs looked like he was supposed to look. That's the way that he's got to play. He was the leader of that squad. So, I was happy with them. As far as Michigan, obviously disappointing. But, Bryce Underwood, I think, is a real deal. I'd like to see them, we hear about his mobility and stuff like this, so we got to move him and let him run a little bit more. And I think that's something that you'll see. But he's got some maturing to do, but the talent's there. So I'm actually be happy for either team, right? For having a quarterback, because you got legitimately some good guys, and Underwood, we don't know what his ceiling is.
Yeah, it's been a long time since both teams had exciting quarterbacks.
Right. For somebody that your guys aren't all bitching about.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
KG, is Sharon Moore the guy?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
In week 2, it's a hell of a question.
They didn't look that good against New Mexico, to be quite honest with you.
No, defensively they had some things to figure out, and once again, that's Wink having to adjust as the game went on, but it's tough to tell right now, man. I want to believe he's the guy. I'm not. To me, I don't know who's calling the plays offensively. I don't know whether that is on Chip Lindsey or if it's on Sharon Moore. If it's on Sharon, then I place the blame on him for just not, opening up this playbook for Bryce Underwood. And I get it. He's a true freshman. He's going to make mistakes. But I can live and die with those mistakes. I think that the team would be better off for that. But he has a lot to prove this year, and I'm not ready to give up on him just yet. But it depends on how it looks at the end of the year, because you can't have a worse year than last year. But if you don't make the playoff, too, I think you'll get some chirping either way it goes. He might be damned if he do, damned if he doesn't. But I'm just not ready to say he's cooked just yet.
How many wins does he have to get for his job to be safe?
8 should have him pretty secure, and that's 8 without a ball
7's
game.
a problem?
8 without 7 is a problem. You can't repeat what you did last year. So it has to be at least one more win better than last year. At least.
Yeah, I thought that he looked out of his depth last year, and this year there's just some body language stuff on the sideline where
everybody talks about that, though.
But you got to think, though, you're coming from a guy in Jim Harbaugh that has this crazy presence.
Right.
Whether it was at Stanford, whether it was with the 49ers, and then with Michigan, you followed that man. And I don't get that same sense from Sharon Moore. When you're in the midst of what this team was in, this franchise, or the whatever we call it in college, but that program was in trouble, not only with all of the allegations and things like that,
right,
but now you're stepping into a brand new coaching situation on the heels of a national championship. I don't think that they were willing to bring in a big-time hire because they knew of the problems. I feel like Sharon is an absolute lame duck 3-year head coach so that they can have somebody that wears the hat that was handed to him from Jim Harbaugh, and then they can wipe him away after all of these problems are wiped away, because they still got to deal with the Matt Weiss thing.
No, you do.
And then maybe that's another year, and now all of a sudden, hey, you get to completely wipe the slate clean. You gave your in-house guy an opportunity. You've got your diversity hire,
right,
and now all of this stuff is all over, the problems, the new coach, and you in 2027, you get to just completely start anew. as a Michigan fan, would you be okay with that? Would you look forward to that?
Well, I can't necessarily say you're wrong about the lame duck part of it. It's interesting because we've been through a whirlwind in these last 2 years. Championship, scandal, all the shit. But at the end of the day, Sharon Moore has only had 2 years as a head coach. You talked about Jim Harbaugh. He has had a very, very long coaching history. He's built for this. Sharon Moore being a first-time head coach and taking over a program after it was left completely bare. And coming in January, having to kind of figure this shit out. This is the first year where he's been able to actually go out there and recruit his guys. And on the recruiting front, I think he's done a great job in that department. And it does help when you have some of those donors finally stepping up to the plate. Hey, we'll kick the money in here. You just go get our guys. It's so much more helpful when you have that. But I can't necessarily say you're wrong right now. It all depends on how this season is going to shake out. I think I feel like he bought an extra year getting Bryce in the building, but it's yet to be seen because they can very well wash their hands of Sharon, start new, like you said, in 2027, and away we go.
Yeah, and they have to make like a tough decision, I feel like this summer or this offseason because you look at going into next year, it'll be year 2 for Bryce Underwood. If you still have Sharon Moore and you don't get it done in year 2 for Bryce Underwood, and then you act Sharon Moore year 2, is Bryce going to risk his last season in college football with a year 1 head coach?
Right.
You saw where I was going with that, didn't you?
Probably hit the transfer portal. If you fire Sharon Moore after year 2, I would not be surprised if he hits the transfer portal. He goes somewhere to bump up his because he's leaving after 3 years.
Yeah.
Like he's going to go to the NFL.
And Bryce will have a say.
Yeah,
he will
and
have
I
a say.
think that's your timeline. Because that's the big, not the biggest guy that's been brought in the building, and especially because the truth is how bare it was, how when Harbaugh left, and it just sort of like left him. All the seniors left, all the guys left, and he had to put it back together. But he was able to nail down, the number 1 quarterback in the country and stuff. That goes a long way with the boosters and stuff. So
Absolutely.
I think Sharon Moore is tied to Bryce Underwood for the next. Unless something changes. So I think that's where his tenure is. And then as Underwood goes, right, as you see whatever. Now, in the meantime, you can build, develop, and have these relationships and stuff like this. But I think it's another year to whatever. I don't think there's a panic yet. But my only thing keeps going in my head, Kenny, is Neil. Are they Auburn yet?
You're right.
Are they trending to be Auburn?
If he was here, this conversation.
Dude, no, but I mean that goes back because we have this conversation at this time every year.
We do.
And now you're sitting here and it's like the Mountaineer game and Price is Right. No, they're not Auburn yet. But he's not there yet. He might stop and run.
Do you see how nice of a conversation we have about Michigan when Neil's not here?
I swear it's getting hard.
Because like we're just trying to have like a realistic conversation of I think that it is. I think that there's like Sharon Moore, it's not his relationships or his recruiting or whatever, it's his coaching. It's his on the field. So to the fact of if Anson recognizes and other people are talking about just the demeanor, well, that's part of it. You got to fake it to make it. If you're letting too much out with your demeanor, and plus you're Michigan, so he's got to act like you're Michigan.
And
there you go.
Yeah. Rodney Smiley makes a good point in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, I need to know why some people start to hate on the brother. I hate bullshit when it comes to one of us. Why, Spenny? Why are you talking about next year? Damn, bro. The season just started. Go Blue. That's for sure. Michigan could win out, and then it's not a conversation.
They got the schedule for it.
Is that going to happen, though?
Yeah.
No, is that really going to happen?
And Spenny, I agree with you, but I can't say this shit around Neil because he'll lose his shit. But they are kind of set up to where next year might actually be the year to where they take the step they're supposed to take. But right now, it's like they got to figure this out, and you're doing it with a freshman quarterback.
Yeah. But isn't this college football? Like college football coach, if you can latch your trailer to a number 1 prospect quarterback or whatever, that buys you the time because you brought him in the relationship. And what you got to also look, and I'll be Neil here. How much money is Bryce Underwood bringing into the program? How many Underwood jerseys do you see and stuff like this? So that buys some time. Now that doesn't change the record, but it'll get to a point. But I don't think that point's now. And I think it's as we go. If When's Bryce Underwood eligible for the NFL draft?
2 years.
Yes, sir.
If things go badly, he could be in LSU next year.
And then
He very well could.
And then
I doubt
pretty
it,
much right. I doubt it.
But if he
then
does, Sharon's gone.
Yes, that
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I would lean.
And with the final thought on this, Jay Swish in the chat, Michigan gonna get Bill from UNC. Let's pay some bills.
I don't
Benny.
think you want that.
No, hell no, I don't want that.
Let's play some Bills for sure. D-Mac,
Speaking of Bills,
tell us about Lady Jane's.
Oh, I would love to talk about Lady Jane's. And by the way, the hair is all sun.
it's wicked awesome, bro.
It is wicked awesome. It'll be even more wicked awesome because, guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course, although nobody gives me them. We like uncomplicated like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign, and before you know it, your hand's been clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Why? It's wicked awesome.
Are you ready? It's electric.
It's the Great American EV Sale at Feldman Chevrolet. With over 800 EVs on the ground, it's the largest selection in the state. Drive home a 2025 Equinox EVLT for just $159 a month, or a 2025 Blazer EVLT for only $179 a month. But hurry, the $7,500 federal tax credit disappears September 30th. The countdown is on. The Great American EV Sale is here, only at Feldman Chevrolet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The best pizza comes from Michigan. We all know this, and it doesn't get any more Detroit than Buddy's Pizza. Buddy's literally created the category for the original Detroit-style pizza, and they've been doing it since 1946. That's right, 79 years. They're a cornerstone of our fine city of Detroit, and they are a dedicated community partner. We've got over 22 locations here in Michigan. There is a Buddy's near you, I guarantee. Your next order, right above me. Use that 10-meal promo code. You're going to save 10% off your next order. So get on over to buddyspizza.com. Welcome back, BDE, on a sunny Wednesday, joined by Darren McCarty. We've been talking Lions. We've been talking Michigan State. Well, there's another team in town, and they are on a collision course with the playoffs. Of course, we're talking about your Detroit Tigers, and they blew out the Yankees last night, but there's still that burning question in all of our hearts and minds. Are you concerned with the pitching staff? Had a guy, Chris Paddock, who I know, Spenny, you've been concerned with, but it seems like if you spot that guy a 10-run lead, he looks pretty damn good. Yeah. 3 perfect innings last night. Rafael Montero, after looking pretty terrible, by and large, has, 8 straight scoreless appearances, I believe. Obviously, Finnegan, a little injured right now, but looking like the closer for the playoffs. Uncle Charlie could maybe start a game, and Mize last night. Mize looked. How would you say he looked last night, Spenny?
He looked solid. He did what he had to do. It wasn't great, but he was good, and you like to see that. He needs to. It's your 1, 2, 3 in the playoffs has to be Skubal, Flaherty, Mize. They have to. It's not going to be Johnny Morton. Sorry, Uncle.
He's better out the bullpen.
Uncle Johnny, some swing
I'll take 3-4 middle innings from him, though.
Some swing and miss out of the bullpen, but Jesus, that guy gets lit up. And Chris Paddock, he looked good yesterday. I don't want to see him in the playoffs ever. He gets shelled. When he's not what he was yesterday with 10 runs, he gets shelled out there. So hopefully they can get it together, but you need Flaherty to step up. He has to be your number 2 starter, and we know with him it's a flip of a coin. It's Dr. Jack and Mr. Flaherty. Who are you going to get? What day are you going to get? What starter you're going to get? So hopefully he's hot going to the playoffs because you need him.
Yeah, and realistically, this guy
just won a World Series.
Yep.
Might not have been the best pitcher throughout the playoffs.
Struggled in.
But that experience is paramount. It's invaluable. And the fact that he can have those conversations of what it was like to go through each round and to get to the October Classic and to be able to win it, that's experience that he can, convey to that young pitching staff over there. Because as good as Skubal is, he looked half and half in the playoffs last year as well, either unbeatable or maybe not the guy that you thought could shut teams down. Flaherty has to show that $25 million contract he was signed to be here to be. But the question ever that is can the young guy Casey Mize be good enough as that 3, where maybe even depending on how the pitching starts go, that you maybe have to use him in the 2 spot. But as long as Flaherty and Mize are your 2 and 3 and can play well, I have high hopes for this team.
If Casey pitches like he did yesterday, he's your number 2.
Right.
But we don't know with him and Flaherty. They'll be hot for a couple weeks and then they'll get shelled. So you just need them to get hot at the right time.
You think Hinch is willing to put out Mize as a number 2 this young in his career?
I think so.
100%.
Yeah,
He's got his 14th win yesterday. It's about command, but it's time for somebody to step up, right? That's the glaring question. We have this guy should be number 2, whatever like this. But after that, right, you're talking about that the pitching other than Tarek Skubal, who, like you said, at times, right, shows humanity, but somebody else has to step up before that. And if Mize continues to go out, he was solid yesterday, right, and goes out and delivers, and especially some of the pitches watching, when that game was tied, he made some great pitches, and I think that he can be the guy. And isn't it time?
Yeah.
He's your first round. Isn't it time for somebody? That's the whole thing. The opportunity to grab hold of that number 2 starter is right there for all of them.
It is.
But that's it's this team's bipolar, right? Whether it's really whether it's the hitting or whether it's the just hopefully everybody's healthy and hopefully they can all just click at the same time come around playoffs. That's why they put themselves in the position that they have.
Right.
Tigers are the 2 seed in the American League, a half game behind the Toronto Blue Jays and those hot bats they have up north. And then down south, the Houston Astros trail this team by 5 games. Before we go and talk about the wild card, how important is it for this team to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, KG?
I think it would definitely be helpful. I'm not going to deny it like it wouldn't help this team, but at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to their play. They were able to win a playoff series on the road last year. And against a Houston Astros team that we have all had concerns about all year long. So I think that they are more than capable of winning on the road or at home. It's just about what team are you going to get on that said day. And conversely about the pitching, it's going to be upon the offense to kind of step up too, because your pitchers need runs. And I understand your pitching isn't always going to be perfect, but when they can look and they have a 4-run lead, 5-run lead, that makes things a lot more easier. And runs are at a premium in the playoffs, and they're absolutely going to have to step up and provide runs for this team.
You go to many baseball games?
I've been about 4 this year. I either watch them or listen to them. I listen to a lot. I'm usually on the golf course practicing, so I usually listen to Double D and stuff. But my thing is, when you're talking about that offense, is what you're seeing right now, why they're successful, because you got, is this the real Parker Meadows, coming, standing up and starting to, develop with all the time off and the injuries and stuff, as he's figuring himself out at the end of the year. So, they have, we know what we have. We have a team that could do some stuff, but we need it to all come together. We don't have the luxury of just, being the Dodgers, right? Couple guys can, have off days and off weeks and whatever like that and continue. So I just want to see the consistency and the strength is the way AJ Hinch uses the pitching. So maybe the best for this team is you're going to see, especially come the playoffs, where it's that, couple inning starter, then the guys that fill it in, because that seems to throw the other teams off whether they're successful.
Wild card situation, Yankees
first, tied with the Red Sox. They're 3.5 games ahead of the Mariners. Seems like they will both get in, but the Mariners hold a 1.5 game lead on the Rangers and a 2.5 game lead on the Guardians. Spenny, Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, Rangers, Guardians. Who do you fear in the first round? Who do you want?
I would not want to see Seattle or Boston. Yeah. I think those.
I keep hearing that.
Or Texas. If I could choose, it would be New York, or Cleveland. I would not like to see. Seattle is the number 1 team I don't want to see. Texas is probably number 2. And then, the team I would want to see most is New York or Cleveland.
Yeah, the Cleveland Revenge Tour would be a lot of fun. That's for sure.
It would.
Parker Meadows had a good day yesterday. That was good to see.
Yeah, getting him back. That's real nice. That defense.
We always do that
welcome
mid-season
addition.
shit.
Yeah.
Get it together.
As long as you're healthy for the
we
playoffs,
just got to
baby.
do it next year. We just got to only call him up for the last 30 games.
Right. Like, come on,
He'd be the best player in baseball.
I like Skipper over there. Well, let's head out and talk about Jars real quick before we click on our last 10 minutes here, Spenny.
Absolutely. Jars always hosts the best events, and on Saturday, September 27th, Woodward Sports will be live for the 2025 Jars Skate Jam in Madison Heights. I will be there with the Darren McCarty brand full of Sure Skaters. They will have a street-style course set up in the parking lot with big cash prizes up for grabs. All are welcome. Free event with stash bag giveaways throughout the day. 50% off promo in-store all day. For more details, head to jarscannabis.com/skate jam. We'll see you there.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Get ready for the ultimate sports experience. Join former University of Michigan star and NFL sensation Braylon Edwards alongside the charismatic Shep.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown Michigan!
As they break down the latest in sports like never before. Tune into the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards!
Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. only on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't miss out on hot topics, insider insights, and the banter that keeps you coming back for more.
Imagine this. You put down a $1,000 bet with me and you lose, and I just give you $1,000 back. Be pretty crazy, right? It's not crazy for Caesars Sportsbook. In fact, all you have to do is scan that code right there. Put in Woodward 1000. If your first bet doesn't hit between $20 and $1,000, you get it all back. That's right, just for giving it a shot. Once again, that minimum bet is $20 up to $1,000. They got your back. So download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And again, use that Woodward 1000 discount code, or just scan that code above my head. Final segment here on BDE. Shout out to KG, Spenny, and my partner here, D-Mac.
Return.
Don't worry, you'll the return of the Mac, and tomorrow you'll get the return of the Neil as well. Final segment here. What do you got for us, Spenny?
We could do mailbag segment. We could ask D-Mac.
Let's hear the mailbag.
All right, get your Ask D-Mac questions in there. Drop them in the chat. We'll ask Darren McCarty any questions that you have for the 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Drop them in the chat now.
Limited time only.
I do believe you gave me the power to choose Anson, and I'm going to choose up for speculation.
Brenda! Happy birthday, Brenda!
Happy birthday to Brenda. Sorry, Eric Hatfield. You were going to be my second choice with the happy makeup day to Caleb Williams, but it's his mom's birthday. So
right, come on.
We got a Darren McCarty autograph card coming to him. Anson, do you want to tell him how to email you? Or
Yes, please email me at anson@woodwardsports.com. Send me your first and last as well as your shipping address. And please smash that like before we get out of here.
For sure. Going into this Bears game, though, while we give them a second to get some questions for DMAC into the chat there, What do you guys want to see most improved? Is it the pass rush or is it the offensive line play? If you could only pick one, what do you want to see more improved?
Running the ball down Chicago's throat. I want the offensive line. I'll figure it out with the defense, whatever, because of pressures with the linebackers core and the talent that we have. But I got to see us be dominant and open up the play action.
Yeah, for me, it's the pass rush. Caleb Williams, once you get him under pressure, he's going to make mistakes. In a game like this, you have to get after him. And listen, if you send in 5 or 6 guys, somebody got to get through. So that's what I want to see. Maybe a little less dropping Aiden into coverage and a little more of him just rushing the passer full on. But yeah, once that pass rush improves, this defense is going to take on a new level.
I like the way the defense looked in the second half. I need to see that offensive line have continuity.
I hear you.
Absolutely. And first question of the Ask D-Mac. This is for everybody. This is from Zach Soap.
Shout out.
Will the Red Wings make the playoffs this year?
Ooh.
I hope so. God damn.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay,
I'm going to say yes. You know, I think they've done enough. I think John Gibson gives them enough goaltending. And I think you're going to see some of the younger guys, you know, step up even more like they have. So I'm gonna go yes. I'm the eternal optimist.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think they make the playoffs this year. I think John Gibson, obviously a huge improvement from what they had last year. Him and Cam Talbot are a solid 1 and 2. John Gibson needs to stay healthy all year. They made great additions to the bottom 6, adding guys like Mason Appleton and James Van Riemsdyk. I don't think Steve Yzerman is allowed to make the moves he wants to make in this organization. I think he is being held under wraps, and he is not allowed to freely add players to this lineup because they have not added help in their top 6, and it's forcing them to. I don't want to say delay the development of a Marco Kasper, but he is not going to be in the best position if he's playing on the first line next year. He should be your second line center. I don't think you make the playoffs if you have a second line that has Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat in it. I think you need somebody to – Patrick Kane should be a third-line player. As much as I love him, he should be a third-line player because he has glaring holes. And if you put a second line of Patrick Kane, Andrew Kopp, or JT Compher, and Alex DeBrincat out there against a Rodriguez, Barkov, and Kachuk line, you're going to get absolutely dominated. And that's even if you make the playoffs. So – no, I do not think the Red Wings will make the playoffs this year.
I don't know if the city can handle that.
They made improvements. Like I said, their bottom 6 very much improved. We're not going to see Justin Hall next year. That's a huge improvement. John Gibson, great trade. I don't think Steve Yzerman is allowed to pay for talent. And what you need right now is top 6 talent on your forwards. Right now, you need Dylan Larkin to take a step forward, Lucas Raymond to take a step forward, and Marco Kasper to take a step forward. I don't think they insulated them well enough in the top 6 for that to really happen.
I think they have just enough moves where they're floating hard on that 7-8 seed to the point where this trade deadline he actually gets to make some of the deals that he would like to, because I think you're right. I think he's handcuffed.
Yeah, I think they're going to be right around where they've been the past 2 years. Like you said, they're going to be fighting for that last playoff spot, and they did improve, but so did everybody else in the East.
Yep.
And I don't think New York's going to fall on their face like they did last year. So
do conversations, Spenny, because you're right, and you're not even close to winning the cup.
No,
but you are getting better, and Anson. I think that's what I'm hoping. Why they'll be a playoff team, because they'll do enough to put themselves in a position where they only need that one person, and that person's out there. You know, you got a lot of time to dig into that, but I mean, it's kind of coming around the corner. So.
Question for D-Mac and Span. Do y'all think Todd McClellan having a full year as Red Wings coach makes a difference?
Yeah,
definitely
I think it makes a huge difference as far as implementing systems and getting their players. And I was talking actually to Trent Yanni a few weeks ago at a golf tournament, who's Todd, the assistant coach, and his right-hand man. And, you know, just how it's different, you know, where it's different where you're coming in and getting to know. And they know these guys now, and they know the different positions and stuff like that, and you'll have to wait and see on some of the young, when you're waiting for your own prospects and the young guys to develop. that's really what you're waiting for to see if they can make that next step. So I always say, here's my new adage, guys. It's the 100-year anniversary of the Red Wings, so we're going to celebrate.
Right.
Then next year's the 30-year anniversary of 97. Then the 30 years of 98. And after 3 years of partying, we look up, we should be in the finals.
There
That's
you
right.
go. Let's
there
hope.
you
Yeah,
go.
right.
So let's go.
Hope.
Amen. We'll be drinking back out of the cup, baby.
Yeah,
let's
right.
go.
You need Gibson to stay healthy if you want to make the playoffs this year. Like
100%.
completely healthy all year.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really liked the moves that Steve Yzerman made. Gibson was a fantastic move. Mason Appleton, you bring him in here, that helps your penalty kill so much. You got Carter Mazer, he's going to help your penalty kill so much. You bring in James Van Riemsdyk, that gives you quality 5-on-5 scoring, which
Brings in Adel in the dressing room too, and that's where Hamonic too.
Yes.
You know whether he's you're upgrading on Petrie, but you're also bringing a guy who's been around and is well respected in the league, and he's tough.
And you got Bernard Docker as well. He's going to be a solid 6th, 7th defenseman wherever you decide him to end. But I need a top 6 forward before I can say.
And they know, right? Okay, so talking to a few of them over the summer or whatever, their main focus in their locker room was like they're too soft.
Yep.
They know it. They got to get and it's trying to impress them. You don't need a guy to be a killer. You need team toughness, throughout, that you aren't going to push each other around. When I always say that the guy next to you is more important to you than yourself, it's like you can do anything to me, but if that guy gets pushed, you're going to, you're going to sacrifice yourself. And it's never about winning a fight. It's about showing up.
Yeah.
You show up together. It's like a pack. You got to be a pack of wolves, pack of hyenas.
Absolutely.
3 teams with grit in Detroit. I think the Red Wings will find theirs this year. Shout out to everybody joining us today. Smash that like button before we get out of here. Thank you, Spenny. Thank you, KG. Thank you to the legend
Pleasure.
known as DMAC. I'm Anson. Appreciate your time. Make sure you come back at 2 o'clock and join Braylon and Shep for the Braylon Edwards Show.
Thursday fights and top 5 tomorrow.
Yeah.